Welcome to Pete Rogers Outdoors. It's October the 9th, 2016, and today what I want to do is I want to take the time and show you how I field dress deer. It's one of the most important things in this early season here in South Carolina when the temperatures are warm. We got to get the carcass of the deer cooling off, so one of the things I like to do is to field dress. So I'm going to show you how I do it. A lot of people do this in many different ways, but I want to show you how I do it. And there's a few techniques that I do that maybe somebody else doesn't do. And I'll go through that as I go. Since I'm filming this myself, I'll try my best to keep everything in focus. So if you can see right here, I killed a doe this morning. There she is. And I'm going to start the field dressing process here in just a second. Let me see if I can get everything where it needs to be. One of the things I like to do when I'm field dressing deer is I always carry me a piece of cord with me. And what this cord does is it allows me the opportunity to hold the deer for myself. When I'm by myself, I can't really control, so I'll tie this cord around one of the legs, and I'll take this and tie it to a tree like this. And what that does, it holds the deer's legs open for me. It makes it a lot easier when it comes time to start cutting. Can you see that okay? Let me back out a little bit. Like that. Okay. So now I'm gonna start the dressing part. Let me move the camera just a little bit. Get it right in here. I'll try not to get in the way. This may be a better angle. So what I'll do now is I'll take a good sharp knife. Let me take my watch off. I take a good sharp knife and I start at the anal vent. And I'll just make a... Dang it. Sorry about that. So I'll take this all the way up, as you can see, over the brisket into the neck. Make sure I got that. Then I like to just peel it back a little bit. Don't have to do much. Just a little bit. Usually just do one side like I'm doing here. And the top side's the easier side. And check my camera one more time, make sure you're getting all this. Okay, now what I do, I don't get the bladder and anal vent out in the field, because I got a cabin about a quarter mile from here, and I'm gonna hang the deer up to cool anyway. It's just easier for me to get it when they're hanging up. So I'll start right here, and I'll just start splitting the belly. And I use my fingers to just raise up the tissue so you don't cut the paunch. Go all the way to the rib cage. As you can see there. Yep. Go all the way to the rib cage. When you get to the rib cage, I'll draw a line through the meat like that. I shot this doe in the neck, so there shouldn't be any blood on the inside of her. Then you just reach in and you start pulling the guts out. Just like this. Here's the liver, the diaphragm. So now I'm going to go in there and cut it all loose. Here's a little bit of blood in there. And start cutting it loose through the diaphragm. Now be careful in here, you don't cut yourself. Get the kidney off. You can see that's it. There's the gut pile, minus the heart and lungs, which I'm going to do now. Now the way I do the heart and lungs is I take my knife, and you can go between the sternum and the ribs like this and just pop the ribs loose. You gotta get that spot and then like that. Now I'll reach up in here and I'll cut the esophagus. Like I said, if I was packing this deer out, I'd go ahead and take the esophagus out and everything. But I'm only a quarter mile from camp. So there's the heart and lungs. And that deer is field dressed. So what I'm going to do now, wipe my hands off on some grass. So what I'm going to do now, let me back the camera up a little bit, is I'm going to untie the leg where I tied it up. I thought it was. Yeah, here we go. And then what I like to do is just roll the deer over and pour all that blood out. So I just grab him by the ear and just kind of let him sit like that and get all those blood clots, all that loose blood out. And that deer's field dressed. She'll need a little bit of cleaning up, but that's done. So anyway, that's how I field dress my deer. I don't know if I got this up right. Come up a little bit higher. So that's how I field dress my deer. It takes 5-7 minutes. It'll go a lot faster if I'm not trying to record it. All I have left is the bladder and the anal vent. I'll get that cleaned up in just a few minutes when I get it back to camp. And she's ready to go. The coyotes, coons, possums, I'll take care of that gut pile probably before it gets dark tonight. So that's how I field dress deer. Come back and visit us again at Pete Rogers Outdoors.